Okay. Then I guess people. What's up, folks? We are live on another Sunday evening. Next to the last Sunday of October, man. What's going on with this? I'm glad. You know what? I'm not gonna complain. I'm glad 2020 is getting the hell out of here. It's just been one of them years. I don't know what is your thought about this? It's just been
Yeah, I didn't mention earlier, but I did find out earlier back home. A cousin of mine, second cousin, but a cousin of mine had had passed had passed away tragically, and I'm like, wow, I
shit.
was talking to one of my other cousins earlier about it today, and I didn't realize. Yeah, she was a younger cousin of both of ours, but it's just like, man, you know,
Yeah, it's been that kind of year. Um, and one of the reasons why I'm talking about you know value systems. What is it that most of us value? And you always hear about this, in especially in network marketing or in the the what I want to say the especially when it was referring to attraction marketing. You hear
hmm
this term using you got to get value. And I always said to people, I said, that's fine, but what what is value? What is value to I think there's two things about value. There's an individual value system that we each have, okay? But then there's a universal value system that I think we all have, and I base that off of everybody really. They want food, shelter, and make money. I think that's a universe, and they want love. That's a universal value system that we all have in common. Now, when we talk about value when it comes to business and whatever, that's a different story.
hmm
And what you value and how you do things. It's just like you know, today we're dealing with a situation with almost 2 weeks left in this election, this primary or whatever you want to call it, this election season, and we still got this president who doesn't value other people's health or lives. He's going around the country, and I wouldn't be surprised that the uptick in our cases of COVID is caused by a lot by him and these rallies he calls, because
hmm
the areas that he's going to are the ones that have been seeing this uptick, and you wonder about people's value systems in that aspect and what they really value and what they don't value in somebody else. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's just like some people, um, their values. It's just like what's in it for me. I think I think more than what we think, a lot of people's value systems are based off that method. What's in it for me and mine? Pretty much, damn it, anybody else, and and their thing. I gotta know what's in it for me. Is it gonna benefit me? Is it gonna profit me and mine? Because if it is not, what good is it? What good is it to me? How does it affect my life?
Yeah, I know what you're saying that, and that's in some instances that's nothing wrong with that,
Mhm.
but it's just let's go back to what's going on. You got a lot of people are bitching and complaining about wearing the masks,
Yes, yes.
and don't. And we talk about value systems about folks.
Well, and it was just, and I just seen a friend of mine who I grew up with posted it. He said, some of y'all, and he's kind of like you, Greg. He said, some of y'all mofos, you know, think you being restricted by wearing a mask. but we being restricted every day, probably since day one. You can only go 65 or 70 miles an hour. You could only be eligible to vote when you're 18. You really can't drive without insurance, and of course a driver's license. So what is this about your freedoms being restricted?
And it's, you know what is bad to say it is? If I know probably some people gonna say I'm a racist, but a lot of people get that term, they use that term so much out of context. It seems like it's the majority of the people who always talk about their freedoms being restrained with the mask thing are white folks.
Hmm.
I mean, if you sit and watch the ones that always causing the problems about they can't go into an establishment without a mask and they get mad, start shit,
Right.
you know, that kind of stuff. Okay, we got them two on here.
Okay.
The
It's not
cat.
all about you. Look.
Yeah.
See? Oh, you want to play. That's
Yeah,
why.
well, this one was right down at my feet. Look at this one. Looking back at me.
Oh, yeah. He's sucking up to you. What did he do?
You know, but you know, yeah, but you know what I mean? There's just a lot of people act like, you know, there is a bit, yeah, I don't like wearing the mask, but I wouldn't want to have the COVID.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
and they don't understand it's not so much, it's not so much about them, it's the people that they come in contact with and bring it back to loved ones. That's where I don't understand why people don't understand. You wonder, like you said, it's always about what they can get. And they're not thinking about those people that they always affect. And I always, like I always said, your value system is all fucked up if you're gonna think it's always about you and your freedoms and stuff, and you don't think about who your freedoms or whatever, who they affect and who they affect negatively. And that's the biggest problem. And we got leadership, so-called leadership, that does not see things that way. And you got these people who live and breathe on every word he says, and they don't understand that that's what causes a lot of the problems that we're having right now, that we've been having. I mean, you know, and you know, when we talk about attraction marketing in the marketing thing, that part of the equation, bringing value. And I always say value is subjective because it's value is different for each person. I'm talking to this young guy in Africa, Nigeria,
Okay.
asking me questions about, you know, marketing. Yeah, my business has reached that far. You know, that's this the strategies that I do. But you know, and like I told him, you have to make. I can only direct you to sort resources, tools, and stuff. You got to take the initiative to take hold and invest and want to do something with it. He likes blogging. I said blogging is fine, but blogging is a strategy that takes a long commitment.
Yes.
And you got to understand that from a standpoint of, you know, I said you should test drive this marketing system and how I learned some stuff that I do. Test it out because they got all the training and stuff that you want to do within blogging, within YouTube. He said he started a YouTube channel, but you got to get some kind of education and training. A lot of these young boys, a lot of these people, period, not just young.
Yeah. Yeah. I get
They
it.
don't. They want everything that be happen right now. They want things to instant gratification. We got a big problem with this attitude about instant gratification. You know, they see people with some success, and they don't understand that success, that so-called overnight success, could have been 15, 20 years overnight. See, they don't understand that backstory. Okay, you got to understand the backstory. You got to have the value to understand what people have gone through. Are you willing to do the things those people are doing to get where they're at? That's another part of a value system that you got to see if that's part of you. Because if you don't, there's no need in trying to do this because you're not going to stick with it. Um, and when you're marketing out and about, it ain't about you either. Okay, your whole thing, like I always say, the whole thing about attracting the right clients, not just anybody.
Mhm.
Because you start, that's the biggest problem we learn. I know there's a lot of you out there I know, or talk to, market to, or to talk to anybody that's
Yeah,
breathing,
right.
and that's not going to get you nowhere but pissing people off.
Yeah.
Everybody's not interested in anything. Everybody's not interested in your shake, your lotion, your potions, or whatever. They're not interested in that. Your whole job as a network marketer or any type of marketing salesperson is to find the issue that either an individual or the marketplace has and try to solve their problem. That's how you get paid, people. Not by spamming people saying, well, you need this. No, they don't need that. That's one of the things I get tired of people from LinkedIn. I gotta tell people, look, don't connect. Look, I'm saying this to the audience out here. Do not connect with people just because you see that they are in the same business niche or the same whatever, and you think you can sell them your stuff. When they say network marketers or could be the good best kind of clients, they could be the best and they can be the worst
Yeah.
as far as prospective customers and stuff. One of the things you got to understand about the network marketing companies and affiliates, that's an old profession for the simple fact it's been around before all this stuff that we do. One of the things you got to understand, first of all, a lot of network marketers are told to do, chase people, you know, get the person that's breathing around. First of all, you got to retrain them from that mindset. It's just like when you try to tell people about having a business and get them into network marketing. You got to
Mhm.
retrain that group of people from being the employee to thinking themselves a self-employed or and a business owner, entrepreneur. Okay, then you get into this thing when the online marketing space came. Now you got to retrain the network marketer from what he's been taught to do to another paradigm shift. So you go into two paradigm shifts for them to think they could be an asset or a curse at the same time
Right.
because you got to
Right.
retrain them in a mindset. See, I don't know. We use words like brainwash and value. We overuse these things, and sometimes we use them in a bad context because it's easier to do. It's easier to say, I hear like we're in the voting system. And now I know this is kind of off a topic, but it's still in the realm of what we're talking about value. You hear this from the black, brown community. My ancestors died for the right. I just heard this from Reverend now for the right for you to vote. No,
Mhm.
I don't. That I do not believe. Medgar Evers just got shot because he was trying to uplift his people in general. Voting was a small part of that. I don't know where a lot of us get these things. It's what we're taught in school. You know, when you want to, and this is my biggest talking point and complaint about the voting thing today. There's so many people and this comes from a value system and a comfortability. And you mentioned this once before when you were a political science major, when you found out that you did not actually vote for the candidate, you vote for the electors.
Right.
So I always ask this question: how do you where you talk about voting is so important, but if you know that you're voting for a group of people in each state that you're at, and it's not going towards, it's going towards, not directly towards them, just to the electors. Why aren't we talking about getting rid of that? Why are we talking about you should vote? Why aren't we talking about getting rid of the electoral college? Why aren't we talking about that? See, it's to me, when I hear people keep spouting off the same rhetoric through media, through political systems, it tells me that either you are satisfied with status quo, you're getting something out of status quo, okay, and that's all goes into the what we're talking about, value, your value system, and it works for you. What are your thoughts on that, Kent?
You know, Dr. One of my very first science professors had talked about that uh, years ago, and he stated that he said this has not been bandied about, and at that time, back in the mid to late '80s, it hadn't been bandied about, but he said,
You freezing? Kent, you freezing?
when college,
You
and he
froze.
said, yeah, I'm getting that. Your internet is connection is unstable message. And this first time this is done that today.
Ah,
Can you
okay.
hear me now? Or
I can hear you, but I didn't hear you was talking about your professor.
Yeah, and he was talking about. He said I can't predict when, but sometime in the future, folks are gonna have to have a conversation about, do we want the electoral college, because at each year as the census populates the and Ohio was still considered, because we had back then we had 21 electoral votes. Now, of course, now it's down to 18. And he says some states are going to really start hammering on this. Can we get rid of the electoral college? But he said when folks go out to vote, and we vote for that same system, we are in effect, we are making that system, the current system that we have now, we are making it valid every 4 years that we vote.
Right. That's my thing. And we keep telling these young kids that come in talking about voting, they must vote, they must vote. But then you don't say to them, this is what needs to be, this is why I talk about education. And this is why I keep talking about people's value system, because people either are, like I said, you either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. And when you're part of the problem, that tells me what you value. You value that comfortableness of it all. And you can't keep talking about popular vote and all this other shit, where every industrialized nation around the world, when they vote, the vote is the popular vote, not a group of electors from each state determining if somebody's going to be the president. That's bullshit. Okay, you're trying to tell me that I'm voting for somebody I don't even know, but Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, basically are the face of the electorals. Think about it. They're the one. This is the fucked up part about it. They're truly the ones doing the work, out traveling all over the country, even Trump. But yet it's all going to be determined on December 14th whether who we get truly is the president. Come on, bullshit. That's bullshit. They're doing the work, but yet the fucking whoever them electorals are, they get to decide shit on December 14th. That's bullshit. Why do we subscribe to that kind of stuff? That just tells me what, like, we're talking about, this whole thing is about what the value system of a lot of people. Okay, you say you want fair election and fair this. Well, if we're gonna have a fair election, let the people decide, not a certain amount of people. That's just telling me that me, you, if you're not certain group, which was why the electoral college came about. It was for rich white guys. Women couldn't vote. Nobody of color could vote. So now to me, it goes back to saying, okay, and then people say, well, we talk about vote suppression. I'm like, why do we talk about vote suppression when we got going back to this? Electorals are the ones going to decide how you vote suppression. I don't think this is where my thing is. Sometimes I think about it, this is a game, but it's a fucked up game that they play. It sounds crazy, but you have to really sit down and think about this. Yes, they're gonna let you vote. They're gonna let you do this, and then and you got people who mentioned out here, Bill Maher and um, Lawrence O'Donnell, who was the first that hit me to the electoral college. I didn't know 2016. I didn't know how to the extent what that really meant. Okay. Now I know. Once you know something, it's kind of hard to go up here and say, well, this is bullshit, and I'm supposed to be voting this way based off a system that's not actually letting me vote for the candidate that I want. I'm voting for some face I don't know who's going to decide who gets into the White House. And that's another thing. If I'm voting on November 3rd, why the fuck do I need to hear? Why is there a necessity to have a December 14th vote? Well, I mean, if you think about it, what does that tell you? And when people say my vote don't count, well, that's why they're saying it. I'm not sure if they know that's why they're saying it. Mm-hmm. See, the value systems of this country, or we talk about freedoms. Are we truly free? I got into this thing about ownership also. I don't know if I mentioned this to you last week. Our guest speaker that's going to be on next week. People stay tuned. We have a multiple six-figure video marketer going to be on next week's show. We was talking about your email list. Okay. And they're saying that's your biggest asset. Now, I don't know if you saw this. I can talk about a whole lot of things, stuff. This is why I'm talking about value. And people talk about they don't know what to post or what to talk about. If you open your mind to what's out there, there's not anything that you can't talk about from just looking online and some of the stupid shit that you see in the media to that. Yeah, you can relate it back to a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest problem with most people is that they want to be liked too much. They think, well, I can't say that because my group won't like me. Well, fuck your group. If they can't, why are they with you in the first place? Mm-hmm. There's the whole thing about attraction marketing and value system. If they don't connect with what you value, they got no business being in your group. Okay? They got no, hold on. Oh, okay. That cat. They got no business being in your group with you because the whole thing of attraction marketing on it attracts alike. That's all what it is. And if you're not comfortable with being who you are, then you're not going to build a sustainable business because you want to build a business based off of the people that relate to what you are or who you are. They relate to you. Don't you agree on that, Kent?
Yeah, wholeheartedly. You're everybody's, and we have them, and we said this before, and Greg and I'll say it again. Everybody's not going to fit in your business. No, nor would you want them to, because if a person is, for lack of a better term, dead weight, why why would you want to spend your time helping them, trying to point them in a direction to the skill sets they need to learn, the resources they need to access, if they're just hell bent on not doing anything anyway to better themselves, to grow their business.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you
they're wasting your time, and they're wasting everybody's time. And your time could be given to somebody who's looking to get some value, as we say, get some direction. And why waste your time with people that don't want to do nothing, and they kind of fight you every tooth and nail on the way. And I'm just saying that you should be you. Okay, you should be you. If you're not going to be you, then you're wasting your time. You're wasting, and you're not helping that potential prospect in any way. If y'all don't
right,
click on the same level about certain things, why bother? Hey, we say this business is a relationship business. That's all we're talking about, relationship, whether it's value system. When you get in any type of relationship with anybody, it's based off of compatibility and what y'all value.
right.
And they'll have to be compatible. That's no different than in a romantic relationship versus a business relationship. If you don't have that type of compatibility and everything, you're wasting each other's time.
Hmm.
Why go there with that stuff? And I think that's where a lot of, like I say, value systems are subjective because they're based off of each individual's what they really truly value and stuff. And that's what you need when you're prospecting or networking with people. You find out what they value. Basically, that's what you're doing. If you talk about anything, you find their value system, what they like to do, what they don't like to do, blah 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 blah. That's what the networking part. That's why I say I hate using the term prospecting, because prospecting is a term that in the network marketing space it refers to more to all you concerned is getting somebody in your business or selling them your product or service, and that's not
Right.
what this is, because you're leaving the whole relationship quotient out. And if you're saying this business is a relationship, then you really need to change the name to you need to be networking with people.
Hmm.
Okay, you need to be networking. Try to stop trying to get them totally in your business. Everybody don't need to be in your business. All right, and then like I talk about ownership about a lot of things. I mean, I think about um if you think about it, all these people talking about, well, I got 30 million followers on Facebook or YouTube and all that. True, we as marketers or whatever, none of us own any of these third-party platforms that we use. We don't own none of them. Okay. The only thing that you own is the content that you create, that you are leveraging to show and leverage out to the marketplace. That's the only thing you own. You don't even own your email autoresponder. Okay. Your list is not the autoresponder. Your list is the content of the people that you've attracted. There's a list of names, like a phone book. You own that content. You don't own anything else. So when we get down to true ownership, ain't shit online ain't anybody own. None of it. You only own the content, people. I always want people to get a clarification about a lot of stuff, because I don't find a lot of marketers give that clarification. They speak in general. Well, you're on your list. Well, you're on your. A lot of people don't know what the fuck is your list.
Hmm.
Okay, a lot of people refer to list through the autoresponder. No, you don't own an autoresponder. You paying rent to use it every month.
Exactly.
Think about it.
Exactly.
It's like you own the content of your web page or your capture page, but you're paying rent to have it on the server. Because if you can have the fabulous whatever, if you don't have somewhere to show it on, it's worthless. So we need to get that clarification out. I want to get that clarification out to the marketplace on the understanding what you truly do own is the only thing you truly own is the content that you produce. All the other stuff you rent, people. That's all you're doing. This Zoom platform, we don't own shit about it. we own the video content that we produce through it. And those type of detailed explanations, and I don't find people saying it. I think some people are afraid that if you say stuff like that, they'll run folks off. Well, maybe we need to run some people off. Some people are just taking up space and not doing nothing and making it bad for everybody else, but they need to know. They need to be hit over the head. You know, I always said, you know, some people just need to be slapped up the head to wake up to the reality of what's going on here. Okay? You only own content that you produce, people. All the other stuff is like anybody else. You renting it out.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you know, and that's why my value system is really trying to get people to understand the truth about all this stuff. Okay, it's all. And I don't know. I had to get off on one of Dr. Claude Anderson's posts.
Uh-oh.
He's you know, the more I see all these woke folk that they claim they are, I'm kind of like, y'all need to go get some sleep. Really. There's somebody put a post out, and this is another thing that runs back to value. We've used the term, you hear people using the term black now, like it's synonymous to, you know, and there was a post that said, well, wait a minute, black is a color. I'm not black, I'm not brown. Black and brown are colors. So what is my ethnicity? Okay. So I put on there, you're right. She's right in the post. Black, there's no country called black or brown. There's no language called black or brown. They're all just colors. Okay. So when you talk about ethnicity, now you look at every other ethnic group around here, they use Italian American, Irish American, Swedish, whatever from the country. Okay. It's just like I used to say about the Latin X thing, and I was watching Bill Maher, and they had John Leguizamo on. He was talking about what the Latin X was supposed to bringing in everybody. I said, well, hold on. I was saying to myself, Latino and Latina refers feminine, male, and female. Your language distinguishes from the two. Now, why are you bringing in all this other thing called Latinx? It's almost like they appropriated with, you know, how blacks talk about, they use the X because they don't know who they come from and all that. Yeah. So then it's like Latinx. Well, motherfucker, you regardless how it is, you have a language. The foundation of the language for most Latinos is Spanish or Portuguese. Okay? Now, I always try to keep shit very simple, almost elementary for folks. But you got these people that come out here want to play like they got to have something so much of their own. And it already establishes what your shit is. Now, I don't agree, you know, when we're talking about, people say they don't like to use the term African American because you get some white Africans that come over, but most white Africans weren't brought there no way. They came there from somewhere else. If you're talking about, you know, your history, fuck them. Okay? When you talk about Africa, Grant, Africa, none of us know. This girl talking about, well, I don't know my tribe. You know, really, who gives a fuck? Really? I mean, is it that damn important? Half of the people here don't know if they're not, the Italians don't, some of them don't know if they're Napolitan or Calabrese or all that other stuff. It's not that damn important. Why are you worrying about this shit? Half of them never been there. I've never been to Cuba. I've seen it. I've never been to Portugal. But why is it that we got to get so detailed into stuff like that to make us feel better about ourselves instead of understanding the history and leave it at that. It got to get to a point where, you know, black is not a color. Ain't nobody. What language is black?
Right.
Okay. Don't nobody speak black. Don't anybody. No slaves came from the country of black.
Right.
Okay. And most of them, and you want to get real technical about it, black and brown are synonymous to both cultures, Latino or Hispanics or whatever you want to call it, and African American, because everybody ain't black or brown or whatever. They're a mixture of the hues. Like my mother said, first one time, I remember they saying this, first we were Negro, then we're colored, okay? Then went to African American, and then or black or African American. Now you want to go back to black. If you want to have an identity, why not have the identity? You say you're not ashamed to be African, but where you got a problem using the term African American. A lot of them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it seems that way. And when you mention Afro-Cuban, Afro-Chinese, or whatever, and you putting that in there, then this girl said, well, you don't seem like you know who you are. I said, I know who I am. You the one came on online talking all this other shit about I don't know my tribe. Like, what? You the one said this, and you the one that spread this whole damn thing. But that tells you the value of those type of people and how they think.
Mm-hmm.
And just like today, about an hour before we got on, I saw a post. Dr. Claude Anderson said that. I wonder if I can find it. Something about a business that's just about money is just a poor business. I'm like, what? Business is about money. Now this man got a PhD in finance. What do you think business is about? What do you think the stock market? Stock markets are a group of investors, bankers, commodity investors, all those things. They about money. They ain't about nothing else. Okay? Business is about money. Assets and liabilities. There are two things about assets and liabilities. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take them out. That's a simple, plain economic capitalism 101. Now, for someone that says they're a PhD in finance, why would you pull something like a business that's just about business is a poor business? Well, it should have been part of business should be about relationships. Okay. See, the way you word things has a very important connotation in what you put out there. Because when you say a business is a poor business when it's just about money, well, that business is about money. Okay. First and foremost. Now, if you want to go further, he should have said business should be a part about money and relationships. He didn't say that. Okay. I guess, people will say, well, why you got to be so nitpicky? Because as I say, the way you word things is powerful. Okay. A lot of people don't want to be detailed about stuff, but you're going to have somebody call you on your shit. Like me. He said, I don't care. You should know this. You know this about me, Ken. I'm not impressed because somebody has a bunch of letters behind their name. Never did. And never. And then when you got to say it all the time to impress people, that tells me what you value. Okay. Instead of bringing the value that other people are looking to hear, mentioning about what you got a PhD in, nobody really gives a fuck. And then when you say something like that, I kind of like, okay, what's up? I mean, I don't know. Did you see that post today?
No, I didn't see it.
Well, it's amazing. The thing about social media, and this would not be, the thing about social media, it kind of exposes a lot of people more so than if you were face to face, because sometimes you can hide shit face to face, but a lot of times social media does is bring out people's ego because they can
Right.
hide behind a computer and say this type of stuff and really be false about it until somebody calls them on their shit, you know. And I don't try to be pretentious about anything, because look, so what, you got a PhD, they're a dime a dozen anymore now. First it was the master's degrees, everybody's getting those. Now everybody think anybody get a PhD, they think they're gonna get something. Nobody gives a fuck about your PhD. Really, not in the digital age. They don't give a shit. That is not that important. The paradigm has shifted again. Paradigms are going to keep shifting.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember if you remember. Well, was it The Millionaire Next Door? All the stuff that we're using now has come to pass. Paul Zane Pilzer said we were going to have technologies, we're going to have softwares, we're going to have tools that are going to be directed towards the home-based business entrepreneur. Now look at this. We get an audience where you're at home, I'm here. We're using Facebook to leverage our message out. We got these things that we can take and we can be mobile. So these are the tools I think he was talking about. He said we're going to be at the point where we don't need to be stuck at our laptops or a desktop because these things. Somebody mentioned about the Jetsons one time.
Yeah.
Remember the Jetsons?
Yeah.
That had the mobile phone. No, it might have been Mark that's going to be on here next week. People come, Mark Harbert. I think it might have been him that's talking about the Jetsons, and you watch them TV shows and you wonder if they're going to do that. And sure enough, we got these type of phones. We got, Dick Tracy, the watches now. You get those watches and stuff, of the Apple watches.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember Knight Rider back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Junior high school, I took typing.
Okay.
Yeah, as the typewriter's outdated, it's this now. Okay. But yeah, I remember that. I remember it all the time. My mother had a typewriter. I remember she was when she was working, she had to type up lesson plans. Okay, stuff like that. You didn't have all this stuff. You didn't have this leveraging stuff now that we got today. And a lot of people don't understand that. And see, I think that's the biggest problem that's been in network marketing when this paradigm shift happens from, I say, analog to digital. A lot of the old heads saw it was a disruption in their money-making scheme. With the tools and stuff. But I didn't see it that way. I said, you got even more leverage now. I don't know. I don't understand why they couldn't see that. If you're selling tools and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it seemed like all but one, and the one I'm talking about, of course. I think, I am an admirer of Scott and MJ Michael, but I have to say I really do admire Don Storms, because he looked like he was ahead of his time in that aspect.
Yeah, and I think
finding ways on how to leverage your business.
I think there was a lot of jealousy on that, or in what happened with him in the business and everything, because Don Storms, you're right, Don Storms was always looking in the market to see what was the next thing coming up that's going to either change the way we do business or what. He was always looking at that. When the internet started coming, he said, people, Try to build, you know, build your list or whatever now, because what's going to happen is these people are going to be able to take their audience and transfer it on the internet, and they're going to build their business like that. Speed of light. He said that. Okay. And he's right. You know, back then, the business was all about audience. Okay. It wasn't so
Right.
much about, even back then, it's just that we didn't have the leveraging tools that we got. The audience thing was about you building from one and teaching somebody else to do the same thing. That was fine, but there was no true leverage. Leverage means that you don't have to do, you got things that will help you do it automatically.
Right.
Or, you know, that wasn't really a true leveraging factor, because when you got to depend on somebody else to get out there to spread the word about your own business, that's a hard thing to get other people, especially if they don't have
Right.
any, they don't have no skin in the game. That you're asking somebody to build your business
Exactly.
through that means. That's really what you're saying. Now we have, with the internet and social media, you put out enough content that will build your business. Each individual is responsible for building their business. No matter if you got an upline, downline, crossline, whatever, you are still. And I think that's what made that a big problem in a lot of these groups now that stalled, because the downline said, fuck that. Why should I need to build your business when I need to be building mine?
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
as I gotta build mine, you need to build
Right.
yours. That's what the leverage factor in the internet. And that's what caused a lot of friction and disruption in all these network marketing companies, because now they really truly had to get out there and do the work that didn't have a skill set for.
Right.
You know, the old prospecting shit that they were doing before wasn't transferring to the digital space. And most people did. And see, their value, go back to the value, their value system was still stuck in the 1980s or 70s or whatever, versus the 2000s, where it really meant that they were talking about building relationships, but you really had to know how to market. And most of them didn't know how to market. They knew how to talk a lot of shit to people, but they didn't know anything about marketing. Hold on. What is this cat doing?
Uh-oh.
I hear something.
And as you can see with our pets, they like to instill a little comedy relief or
Okay.
comedy relief for you, but not for
He's
us.
bad. He's messing with something on the door. Damn cat. But that's what's really has caused a disruption. Now we have this health crisis disruption that's really made people, if you wanted to have a business, you better change your value system and unlearn how to do marketing.
Yes.
Okay. And that's where we're at today. And people are going to have to understand that. I don't know. You know, and you know, like I said, there's two value systems we got. Like I said, everybody universal, everybody wants love, food, shelter, make money. The other one's the individual, and that's something most people have to soul search on their own to find out what they want, what they want to do, how they want to do that. We can help you with those type of things, but it's still going to be an individual thing. So I wrote a blog about that also on Friday. A lot of times the blogs, when I think about a blog that I want to write, I usually do the show from that blog. I don't know if you've seen my blogs lately. They're kind of coinciding with my blogs. The show is, hello, you still there? Oh, you freezing. He's freezing.
Okay. I'm moving now. Can you?
Okay, yeah. Internet connection unstable. That's my saying it. But I'm just saying most of my blog is corresponding with the show. I don't know if you ever noticed that. The topics
I
are
did on the last week's show because I did see the blog, but I didn't see this. I didn't see the blog this week for this.
okay.
This week.
Yeah, lot of that is correspond. They everybody's not gonna see everything. So I usually when I do a blog, it's usually the same topic I'm gonna talk about on the show on Sunday. Like like I said, next Sunday we got a special multiple six-figure earner. Mark Harbridge is going to be joining us on the Sunset Sunday show. I've been trying to get him for the last 6 months to a year on here. Finally did. What time is it now? Oh, damn, it's almost 8 o'clock. It's almost an hour up here.
Yes, sir.
This time be going. Time be flying.
Yes, indeed.
In a couple of weeks, it's going to be dark at 5:30.
Yes, I know. I know.
Well, at least you ain't got to get up and drive 40 minutes in the dark and come home in the dark. All you got to do is get up, roll yourself over to your computer.
I believe it or not, I'm actually thankful for that. I know I'll be very, very thankful when that snow and freezing rain starts.
Oh yeah, you really will. You be like, I don't want to be out in that mess. That's one reason why I said I don't want to travel. No, I hate ice and snow. And then I don't want to have to get up and then have to clean off the car.
Yeah, I hate that the most. I have to admit.
You got to do that before you even get out to do stuff.
Yeah.
Then you got to warm up the car.
Got to chip that ice. Oh man.
And then you got to drive amongst all these foods with the ice and snow. And if you got to be there like 8 o'clock, you got to almost leave when it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's all that. It's just the whole going to a job is a job in itself. You know what I mean? It's a job in itself, and it takes more out of you than you want to deal with, and more than I would want to deal with. Like I said, I remember the day in my 20s, I used to work at the Huntington. I had to open up the mailroom, 6 o'clock, walk across that Broad Street Bridge in the dark, in the cold. Okay?
And you guys know this, but for the record, Gregory Smith does not like the cold at all.
I ain't no fan. I ain't never been a fan of the cold weather. My mom and dad got me a sled. And they said, you never used that sled. I said, where and when did I ever say I wanted a sled? I remember saying it. I think I might have taken out one time. Back at Hartford, just a field with the slide. I never been a fan, I ain't never been no fan no snow. No. Especially I remember when me and my dad went to New Jersey right after a blizzard here, 78. Grandfather was in the hospital. Went there. Now we could get out after that 78 blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
I go to Jersey, get in there, and then get hit with another blizzard.
You was through there.
I was so done. Was stuck at my Aunt Colette's house in Piscataway. But I think my dad had went back and I stayed, helped my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
But then was over my Aunt Colette's that one night before the blizzard hit. For a year and a half, I wouldn't eat ice cream. Because it looked too much like the snow that was out up outside, up on almost on the roof.
Okay, so you had some PTSD on that.
Oh yeah, I had real PTSD off of snow. I was not playing with no ice cream. Don't even think about it. I don't know damn ice cream. I saw enough of that damn in the wintertime. Why I want to eat some now? Hell, there were some times when they had so much snow, some of that shit didn't melt till June or July. It was so packed together.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
First you thinking, what the hell is this sitting out here in the middle of almost summer? And it was a solid thing of snow. It was
Mm.
so solid, it took all that time to melt down. I said, I never been a big fan of snow, ice and snow, because I just see you, it's just a mess. I mean, you got shovel, clean, ice, scrape. Before you even get, by the time you do all that stuff, you'd be like, do I really want to go? You know, it's like, man, shit, I don't know if I feel like going now. I gotta do this to go there. So no, I've never been a fan of ice and snow. I could deal with the cold if I ain't got to deal with all that ice and snow. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All that flipping and busting your butt on the ground. Nah, you know. That's why I said I couldn't have lived up in Cleveland or where you came from. We all got hit all the time, or up way up in the northeastern part, upper state New York and Connecticut. They can have that mess. Them cats get hit too damn hard. Hell, look what happened in September in Colorado. Got what, 6 inches of snow,
Yeah.
and then the next
Yeah.
day or next couple of days it was gone. See, I ain't with that kind of program. No. And I almost thought about moving out there too one time. That's not my
You know
value.
what? So did I.
Huh?
So did I.
What, the
So did
Colorado?
I. Yeah.
You thought about moving
Yeah.
to Colorado?
Yeah, I actually thought about it. Yeah.
Why?
Yep.
Well, you like snow.
Yeah. But I don't know if I could. Maybe I could adjust to the cost of living. I understand it's a little bit higher than ours. To what extent I don't know. But
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. It's kind of like, it's not that real. What I remember, last time I was out there was in 1998, 99.
okay. And I don't know if I could get used to that mountain air.
Yeah, some people get that air sickness
Yeah.
to the high elevation thing.
Right.
Um, I didn't like it was too changeable. I'm
Okay.
not that, when it comes to weather like that. I'm not into that variety shit. You know, not like what they do.
Hmm.
30 below zero here with 100 inches of snow. Then a week later it's 85. You know, some old crazy. I mean, it's
Right. Right.
I their whole nature weather system is just too crazy
Too
off the chain.
extreme.
I'm just not. I never been, I don't know. I just never been. Like I said, my mother and them talking about you didn't use that snow or that sled. I'm like, I don't know what made you think I like the slide. You know, I hated when I had here shoveling snow. I don't play in it. No, I just went, and then I used to have a dog. Had the German Shepherd named Prince, and you know how dogs are. They get out
Oh
there
yeah.
in the middle of the night. It's cold. I said, dog, Prince, you better come on and do your thing. And they gotta go
They
around here
living their
sniffing.
best life, right?
They gotta go around here sniffing. Oh, I need to find a great spot to piss. Fool, you better find a spot in a hurry. It's cold out here. Come on, sniffing around here. I'm like, what the hell? I said that's no. Some people say, well, I'm a dog person because dogs ain't like. I said, dogs, you can't do much with dogs. They gotta they're too high maintenance.
Yeah, dogs are high maintenance. Yeah.
I just I don't know. Is this a crazy thing? So, but I hope you got value from what we're seeing tonight about your values. I don't know what your value is, and like I said, it's different from any. It's gonna be different, but when you're dealing with marketing, your job is to find the niches that you are marketing to What do they value? What do they need? What problems need to be solved? Stop spamming folks. LinkedIn people, stop spamming people. Ain't nobody interested in none of your binary whatever. You know, who cares? Don't connect with people just to try to sell them stuff. That's not cool. Because then you start getting a reputation and stuff. Hey, these just they're trying to get you into doing something or buy something. You're not networking. Networking is about building a relationship. Really. Prospecting is not. I'm just gonna say it. Prospecting is just about getting somebody in your business. Networking, the end goal, yeah, if there's a connection, maybe so. That's the difference, is a mindset. Prospecting is strictly, when they teach it, is to get somebody in the business. This is, like I said, this is why I wrote this book, people. This book I had out, the 5 keys to success. Know the difference in the market. Know the difference today in marketing. Learning the difference between prospecting and marketing. You got to understand there's a big difference between prospecting and marketing. If you don't get that, you're going to struggle with this business, the online thing, or any of it, because you're going to keep running around here trying to think everybody needs your shit, and they don't. Plain and simple, they don't need it. With that being said, Kent, you got any last thoughts?
Hey guys, like Greg said, we hope you liked the video. We hope you got value from this chat tonight, not just with this chat, but with all our chats that you've been able to be on. We appreciate you guys letting us bend your ear, and for those folks. And again, Greg and I are for folks who want to start their own home-based business, or for those who have their home-based business, want to learn some skill set on how to leverage their marketing skills and learn some new skill sets on how to propel your business. Greg and I are the ones you can reach out to. We are on several platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to us. We can steer you in the right direction so you can learn those valuable skill sets that you're going to need, because as Greg stated, like Paul Zane Pilger said, the late Don Storms, you want to get a list built for your business. Now the time is now where you can just put your business out on the web here, and literally, did I freeze up?
No.
And no. Okay, and literally you can you would, yeah, you're gonna have to put some work into it, but if you build your business, it can grow exponentially, but you got to put in the work and you got to learn the skill sets. There's shortcuts too.
Yeah, starting out, you're going to have to learn to create. See, online marketing is about creating content to the right marketplace, that will help solve any market or any niche's problem. That's all it is. Solving problems. We're just professional problem solvers. Be it an individual or a marketplace that you're working in, this problem. Most of the people in network marketing problem is that their upline's not teaching them how to leverage the internet to generate leads. Okay, generating leads and chasing after people are two different things. Okay, like I said, I got into business online, this and stuff, because I wanted a lifestyle. We got a laptop lifestyle, or a what do you call this, a cell phone lifestyle. And like I said, I've said this before, and I got this from Scott J and MJ Michael about sleeping till I'm done. The biggest unnatural thing that can happen to you is having to be woken up by an alarm clock, folks. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. That's what job gets you. I mean, that's what job. You gotta wake up, you gotta be there at a certain time, and then the job, if you're half a minute late, they want to bitch and complain about you. I'm not with I'm not with that shit. And then you gulping down at lunchtime. Who can go get a lunch if you only got 45 minutes? They don't want to give you 45 minutes for lunch. And then you got to go back and do the same damn thing for another 4 or 5 hours. I had that bullshit. All right. Really. I don't know why people do. I don't understand people why they get. I know people got to do what they got to do, but you don't. There's other alternatives out there, people.
Yeah.
Okay, there's ways of doing things, and you can get out of it. And you know, we have another person talking. People just say everybody can't be in the business. Everybody can. Yeah, they can. 98% of the population, especially African American people, have some sort of device, either laptop or cell phone. Both of them can get you out of your job if you learn how to use certain skill sets. All y'all want to do, a lot of y'all is want to play Candy Crush, TikTok, what is it? TikTok, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
all those type of things are great if you don't know how to learn to use them to put money in your pocket. With that being said, I hope you got value for tonight. It is what, 8:15? I don't want to be on here too long. You know, a lot of times some of these people keep you on here 2 and 3 hours. You know, people's attention span very short.
Yep.
And they start losing you when you start being, I remember we used to go to these damn, we went to these damn events all fucking day. I think back about the shit we used to do. And half the stuff, you know, we spent money to do that. But in reality, I learned very little, because after a while you're there early in the morning.
And you hear the same thing over
Yeah,
and
you
over.
start hearing the same shit every time. And then by the time you leave at midnight, you about done.
Yeah.
And then these damn things supposed to last all damn weekend. Attention span is very short. And nobody wants to hear the same shit all the time, unless you can relate it to something that's going on currently. That's the key. You get to relate. If you're gonna recycle something, relate it to something that's going on, so people can have a reference point. That being said, like I always say, Les Brown said, we had Sunday, heart attack rate goes up 30-45%. Don't let that be you. My mom just lost, my uncle lost his mother. My mother's brother, they had a memorial service. She was 99 years old. Well, you know. So, you know, but don't let a job make you drop dead at your desk or even at your home because you stressed out having to be there. Ain't no job, ain't no job worth all that. Making the heart attack rate go up to 35-45% on Sunday night between now and tomorrow morning. It ain't worth it. Ain't no job, ain't no company, ain't nobody, not even us, okay? It ain't worth it, okay? That being said, I hope you got value. My name is Greg Smith.
And I'm Kent Robertson.
Like I said, next week, join us with multiple six-figure earner, video marketer, Mark Harbor. You'll see marketing information about it this week. Peace out. Take care. We're out of here.
Stay safe, everybody.